What is up, everybody? It's me, Duke Farley, back at it again here, and I am talking to Madison, who is about to be playing in this season of Ascendance Live, season 3. Madison, what's up? It's good to talk to you. How are you?
Yeah, thanks for having me. I am really excited for Ascendance. I'm happy to be here.
Perfect. The first question is really just to kind of get the viewers to know a little bit more about you, kind of like really open-ended. And that is to describe your perfect day. Who are you spending it with? What are you doing? Where are you going? All that good kind of stuff.
Mm, what a fun, happy thing to think about. I think for me, a perfect day, right? Like a perfect day, definitely is about the people I'm with. I would say, more so than like where I am or what I'm doing. But for me, I think I'd be with my boyfriend Tommy, my brother, my roommate Jake. I'd probably be doing something. I like doing like escape rooms. We do a lot of like game type stuff or things that just get me out of the house because normally I like to like sit and do puzzles and like paint crafts. Like I'm normally a pretty um chill person. So like I like every now and again to do like a fun thing like an escape room or something that kind of, challenges you in a little bit of a different way. Um Lots of food, but
What kind of
not
food?
a real not, oh, what kind of food? What a great question. I'm a big pizza gal. That's such a generic answer, but um
Love it.
pro- yeah, right. It's an easy can't really go wrong. So really anything with my friends and my family, but yeah, and stuff like that.
Cool. Love it. So let's get into some game questions here. The first one being, who from a past season of Ascendance Live would you work with if they were in the game with you this season?
Oh, well, I'm kind of new to the whole Ascendance world, just to be pretty transparent. So my roommate Jake was in the or I think the last season, or yeah, I think Ascendance 2. And so I watched, some episodes from his season, and I was so proud because he won a puzzle challenge and he won by like so much time. And I do puzzles all the time. Like I have an embarrassing amount of puzzles, and he knows from watching me do puzzles that you start with the outline, and he did that first. So I was just like crying watching that episode because I was so proud. But like,
You taught him
um,
well.
yeah, I didn't even know I didn't, it's like I didn't even really realize that would, something you would notice. But um, so I guess looking back, it's like names I don't really know, but from last season, I know there were a lot of people. I don't know any names, so it'd be just describing. I'd obviously work with Jake because he's my friend, but there were a lot of just like cool people that I was like, okay, I could see myself. These seem like cool people that you could talk to, just like real people. So that's kind of a lame answer, but I'm really excited and I am planning on watching more of the episodes. Jake's like, we got to watch all. I want to like know what these challenges are and like mentally prepare myself. So I might have a better answer in a couple weeks.
Awesome. Yeah. Um, Jake's a great answer though. So,
Yeah.
um,
He's great.
so say your number one ally in the game is being targeted early on. Would you try and flip the vote and save that ally, or would you kind of like stay back and let them like just get eliminated?
Sure. I suppose that's kind of the gameplay and all of it, right? Is looking at short term and long term. I think, depending on, I'm a big like vibes person. So like if I vibe well with someone like and have a connection that I think long term is someone that I can trust and that I want to work with and that I can see, like we're gonna be able to strategize together, like this person's gonna be an asset to my game. I also am just kind of like a loyalty just like I'm emotional, it's like just emotionally, it's like if you connect with someone want to stick with your word or like stick with what you tell people. But I also know from watching shows, and I just watched Big Brother for the first time because our friend Michael was on, and so it's like just looking at all the social dynamics, and like sometimes if you fight too hard for your ally, it's like that can backfire too. So um I think I would want to say, like heroically, I want to say like I would never back out on my ally, but like the reality is I would want to be balancing at both times, I guess, like my social gameplay and like, after the game and just like being a good person with like strategy, I guess, if
Yeah.
that makes sense. Did that make any sense? Yeah.
It's a tough question. It made sense. I think
Yeah.
I understood. I think I know the answer to this next question, but what is a challenge that you would dominate at?
Puzzles. Well, no, there's the funny thing about puzzles though, is like I also am like I'm an anxious person, and like I that's kind of one of the reasons like I'm doing this is because I want to challenge myself and like push myself to try something new. And I get nervous about something like that because it's like in my head I'm like I should be good at puzzles. So like if I'm not, so I'm just gonna try not to think about things like that. Just be in the moment and have fun. I like team. I'm a social worker, and I work. Uh, I've worked in kind of a lot of high intensity like crisis situations, and so like I know professionally that I'm good at like kind of keeping my cool and doing what I need to do, but you know we'll see how that transfers to game stuff, I guess. But hopefully puzzles. I'm just trying to after watching Jake play that puzzle challenge, I'm like, okay, maybe like all these hours and hours and hours of doing puzzles was all for this, like, and this was, this is what it all was for. But yeah, we'll see. I'm just scared this is going to be a cutaway of me being like, I'm going to rock at puzzles, and then it's going to be me just like staring at a puzzle, and like my brain will just freeze. Like, which you know what? If that happens, that's fine.
They won't do that. We won't do that to you. Sleep is a huge factor in Ascendance Live. How many hours can you function efficiently on?
That's a good question. I like to get a good amount of sleep, but that being said, I never ever really have. Um,
Oh,
I
damn.
yeah, I'm pretty good. I Is there coffee?
I don't know. I've never been there, but maybe,
All
probably.
right. I'm like, that's my, I think it'll be, I've done, when I was in college for spring break, I used to do these spring break, like volunteer trips with, there's a group called Students Today, Leaders Forever. And you'd like get on a bus and like there'd be like a target city, across the country. And then you stop in a different state every day and like do a service project and stuff. And that was like, and this was college. So this was like, a couple of years, well, five, whatever, however long ago it was a little while ago, but that involved a lot of, just like staying up all night, like you're surrounded by people and like getting up in the morning, is the absolute worst when like you just went to bed like 2 hours before. But for me, it's just like the excitement of being in a new place and like doing something that I'm not normally doing. It's like I usually am able to, I can figure it out, but coffee definitely helps. So I hope that that's involved.
Maybe pack some. I don't know. Just in case.
Not a bad idea. Not a bad idea.
What is your opinion on throwing a vote?
Throwing a vote, which would mean that you're like throwing a vote like a sympathy vote for someone. You might have to help me with the terminology here for a second.
So it could be a sympathy vote. It could be just like a kind of like a everybody's voting for this person and you vote for a random person just to kind of not
Shake
do
things
what
up. We're
pick
like,
things up. Yeah.
yeah.
Keep it fresh.
I would say as much as I love keeping things fresh, I also am never looking for opportunities to like I wouldn't like want to I wouldn't want to I wouldn't want to create an unnecessary like singling of someone out, but I guess that's what people do. They just vote for someone else and then what, like lie about it, and then I guess people could do that. I don't know.
Sometimes
I
sometimes
see
people don't even ask.
they just like do, yeah, that's a good point. And then
They just
I don't
accept it.
know. I'm kind of preparing. I'm anticipating that I'm going to learn a lot about myself in this game, and I would be curious to know, like, what are you gonna do, Maddie? Because I've never really done anything like this before, so stay tuned, I guess.
Stay tuned. I look
Yeah,
forward to seeing if you end up doing that.
yeah.
So say you end up getting all the way to the final three people and you win the final three challenge. So you are given the opportunity to take the choose between two people to take with you to the end of the game. And your options
Mhm.
are your best friend in the game, like your number one ally, but they are going to be more difficult for you to beat in the end. Or you can choose somebody that maybe you didn't really like, but it would be easier for you to beat them in the end. Which one of those would you choose to take to the end?
Mm. Right now, just all these different scenes are flashing of like, watching a few snips of Survivor with Jake, where like I know like this one guy who he like thought he was doing the honorable thing, and he took the like bald cop from New York who was a better competitor, and then like everyone voted, and then he lost to that person. I also just again Big
I
Brother
think you're describing
watching.
Woo and
Yes,
Tony.
woo, the woo, yes, woo. Like I was like, oh, he wooed it. Like that was like a verb that I used for a little bit because it's like I get the like emotionally I understood where he was coming from because like I do think again like honorably ethic again I would love to say like I would take the person that I would be, you know, it would really depend on how strong I feel like my game is. Like I feel like if I was that close to winning, which I've never been for anything like this, I would strategically, I'm a pretty strategic person. And I think in that moment, I would probably be leaning towards thinking about like, what do I need to do so that I'm going to win? So I think, but it also, it's like if I make a best friend in there that isn't, you know, I could also see myself being like, you know what, I want to know what would happen. Like I'll always wonder like who would they have picked, me or that person. Is there a prize for this? Is there?
I think there's a cash prize. Yes. I don't know
Okay,
how
well,
much,
actually,
but
I will do whatever I need to do to win. I am unemployed and need money, so I changed my answer. I would take the person I don't like to win the game. That is my answer.
I love that. I love
uh,
that.
oh, that's so embarrassing.
So powers and advantages are usually hidden in the house. What is your approach to that? Are you going to be actively looking for them, or are you going to just like not care about that?
Oh my. I will actively be looking. I absolutely. So I'm hard of hearing. So that's one thing I'm a little bit nervous about in this game is like I wear hearing aids, but the Nicole reassured me. She's like, the goal of this is for everybody to talk loud enough that people will be able to hear. But I'm just like, so whispering historically has not been my forte, but I do know that like one of the benefits of having hearing loss is like I am a very visual person. So like I am someone, like when I'm gonna be looking around and you've got to keep it, be suave about it, of course. But I think that'll be part of just the fun of the game too. Is like I love like Easter egg hunts and stuff. So for me that's half the game.
Nice, nice. Um, what are you doing specifically to prepare?
Yeah, today I just printed out my little like info packet and I made a list of all of the things. So right now I think my like type A personality is like again, like I said, I've never done anything like this before. So I'm like I right now I'm focusing on the like technical things of like I need to get these pairs of pants and I need to get, a fan and things like that. But I need to like also work on my mental preparation because again, I've never done anything like this. Like I'm a pretty outgoing person, but like the older I've gotten, the more I've definitely like settled into being comfortable with my introverted side too. And then like COVID just completely whacked out my social. Like if I do like one thing a week, I'm like, okay, that's my socialization for the month, like not that dramatic, but so um I think that's just what I'm going to be thinking about too is like, and just, setting my brain like it's not about, for me, it's like I just know going into this experience, like I don't really care about winning except if there's a cash prize. But it's more just about like having that experience and just having fun and like getting out of my head and just really like being in the moment and appreciating the experience and having fun and trying at the games. So I'm gonna be just thinking about that too. I'm gonna be bugging Jake every day, like for pep talks and tips and all that good stuff.
Nice. It was a good reference to have somebody that's played. Um, what is one thing that you want to accomplish with this experience?
Yeah. I think more than anything, I just want to, like I said, kind of be in the moment and just not worry about, just not let anxiety or stress, just not let that keep me, hold me back from just being who I am and not being afraid to be myself and make friends or just like be social. Um, I get uncomfortable sometimes, like with the idea, like being on camera or feeling like it just feels performative. And so, like, I want to just like not feel that way. I just want to be able to like be who I am and not be putting on an act or a show or anything like that. But my biggest goal is to just have fun. And like that sounds so cheesy too, but really that's kind of what it is for me. Like this is just a new experience and I'm trying to push my comfort zone and my friends are shocked I said yes. Jake every day is like, I can't believe you're doing this. I'm like, neither can I. Neither can I. But it's gonna be fun. I'm excited.
I'm excited too. Before we close this out, is there anything else interesting, Madison, that you want to share with me or the viewers?
Um, Not a whole lot. Just I guess, yeah, I already said I have hearing loss, so just bear with me. There's a like if there's yeah, I'm gonna do my best and enjoy, I guess. What's the swearing situation in this? Is this we gotta like because that's another thing I should do to practice if that's a thing.
Swearing in this
So
interview or in the game?
the game. I kept it clean here.
You could swear here if you wanted to, but in the game, I'm not really sure. No, I think you could swear. Probably
Okay.
just
I
ask
just wanna
them if not.
yeah.
But
It's kind of a weird like what's the situation? But it'll all be good. Yeah, that's all I have.
well, Madison, I appreciate you taking the time to do the interview. I'm excited to watch you play this season, and good luck to you.
Thank you. It's nice to meet you. We'll see what happens.